BanjoBenClark.com. I'm your host, Banjo Ben, here on the website to teach you how to play guitar, mandolin. This week is Banjo week, and we're going to get better at our pull-offs. How are you at your pull-offs? You know, I wrote this song, Hop, Skip, and Jump, as a fun exercise to help us get better at our pull-offs, and it's a very intentional way to do that. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, I'd love to have you come over to the site. I'm going to ask you to come over in just a minute to BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a GoldPeak member, have access to hundreds of lessons for all three instruments. You get the tab exactly like I wrote it, plus I have 3 different speeds of rhythm tracks that loop that you can download and play and practice and get really good at those pull-offs. Now let's leap right into hop, skip, and jump. Now we've learned all about pull-offs. We've learned how to do them. We've learned the difference between an 8th note pull-off and a 16th note pull-off. We've learned that pull-offs can go down or they can go up. You might call those push-offs, depending on who you talk to. But the point is, we need to be proficient in both. We need to be proficient in pulling off with all 4 fingers in every combination and pushing off with all 4 fingers in every combination, because we'll be called upon to do that as we progress as banjo players. So I wrote a cute little ditty here that's fun to play. It actually sounds cool, and it works our pull-off skills. Let's go ahead and throw up the first line of Hop, Skip, and Jump, a Banjo Ben original. Now, here's what I would encourage you to do. Let's work our way through it, maybe pulling off in one direction, pulling off towards the floor. Then maybe after you learn that, go back through it and work on doing push-offs or pulling off going up. See how that feels and get proficient in all of those. So we're going to start off with an 8th note pull-off on the 1st string, another one on the 3rd string. Just practice that measure. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 8 even notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on purpose. Now we're going to be doing 16th note pull-offs a bunch, but these are to discipline ourselves to be able to do 8th note pull-offs so that we're not lacking in the future. Here's what else I'm looking for. I'm looking for fairly equal volume. I don't want weak pull-off sounds. Okay, we want to pop those strings. You want to go back and watch my pull-off lesson if that's not familiar with you. And we don't want to have a big bend sound. We don't want to come off the fingerboard like that. But when we're doing these pull-offs, we don't want. Okay, we want to pop it, but not bend it. There's going to be a little bit of bend, just not too much. Measure 2. So what we're doing, we're working that middle finger intentionally, pulling off 1st string, pulling off 3rd, pulling off 4th. It's almost like we did it on purpose. We're going to do it again, measure 3. Leave that 2nd fret down because we're in this D7 position. And the purpose here is to work on pull-offs with our 1st finger while our 2nd finger is down. It sounds like this. Now I'm going to naturally want to pull off that 1st finger going up, pushing it off. Work on both. It's going to be less natural perhaps to do it going down. I don't know. It depends on how the good Lord made you. Work it both ways. Let me play this line for you slowly. We'll do it much slower later on. Ready to go. Say, Ben, that's not slow. Well, we'll do it much slower later on altogether. Measure 5, we're going to have some repetition here because I want to drive it deep down into your membrane. We've seen all that before. Excuse me. And then we're going to work in this ending lick that we just learned in our pull-offs lesson. Measure 7, that's what it is. It looks familiar, doesn't it? So there we have that 16th note pull-off. So when we pull off from 3 to 2, it's happening in between those 2 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Again, practice that with your first 2 fingers going down, going up, middle 2 fingers going down, middle 2 fingers going up. You'll settle into one that really works for you, but I just want you to expose. Let me play this line for you. Now you'll see that little line with the 2 dots at the end of measure 8. That's a repeat sign, and as you're going through my curriculum, you haven't seen that yet. But that means you're going to go back and repeat either to the beginning of the song or where you might see another open repeat sign. It's back to measure 1. So the form of this song is to play all the way through the A part, 8 bars, and then repeat it. And then we'll go into the B part. Let's check that out now.